Welcome, everybody, to the That Kind of Nerd podcast. I am CJ Mellon.
I am Brian Thornton.
And I am Josh Burns.
Welcome to our show. All right.
Getting limber? Stretching out?
I'm just stretching out. I'm just getting things ready. I just got to make sure that I'm ready for this episode.
Right.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes of things, I kind of want to put out a call to all nerds. So calling all nerds. We're looking for people to help write on our website, thatkindofnerd.com. We're looking for people that are interested in comics, in movies, and technology, and Microsoft, and Apple, and Google. If those kind of things excite you, we want to hear your voice on our website. It's very simple. All you have to do is go to thatkindofnerd.com. Go to the About Us page. We talk a little bit about what we're all about and what we're looking for. There's a contact form on the top of it and the bottom of it. You can read our biographies, our nerdographies, if you will, and find out a little bit about what kind of team you're coming into. But we're very interested in getting anyone to listen and anyone that will willing to share their passion with the world. So come to our site, come check us out, and come be part of it. So thank you in advance for anyone who takes time to fill it out. It's very simple.
Indeedy.
So, episode 10. Can I just say, for me personally, this is a milestone episode.
I feel like we should be playing Green Day, Time of Our Life.
Yeah, no, but that's usually the end of things. I think this is like the beginning.
That
okay.
and I hate Green Day.
How about
the burning fire of 1,000 suns?
How about let's get it started by Black Eyed Peas.
No, I hate Black Eyed Peas as much as I hate
Well,
Green Day.
not everything's
That's
about
also
you,
not
Josh.
the original lyrics, so
I
I
know.
can't subscribe to that.
I know.
You change lyrics on me, I bow out. I don't know, but I think it's fun. I think it's exciting. I think it's as fun and exciting as our first topic. We got some news that the Punisher may have just been cast in the Daredevil series. Did I read this correct, Brian?
Not may have, sir. He did most definitely get cast in. He's gonna show up in Daredevil 2 in our season 2. In fact, so
That's
it's coming up like next year. Like they're really going ham on getting these Netflix shows and getting Daredevil in particular off the ground. And his name is John Berthenol, I think, if I'm not butchering the name.
You probably are, but it's okay.
I probably am. And most people will know him from Walking Dead. Most recently, he was Shane on The Walking Dead.
And anyone who, like me, despises zombies will know him from Grudge Match with De Niro and Stallone, or Snitch with Dwayne Johnson, among other movie titles.
Wasn't he also in The Wolf of Wall Street?
Yeah, he was. He was.
You know what else he was in? He was in. We were just saying this last night. He was in Fury with Brad Pitt.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He was in Fury.
So there you go. Many titles that are all better than The Walking Dead.
Okay. It's great that you have an opinion that's totally wrong with popular culture, but that's okay.
Gee, what a surprise!
It's just the number one show on television, not the number one show on cable, not the number one show that's available. It's the number one show on television. You should probably get into it because it's not about the zombies. It's about the people. You don't fear the dead. You fear the living.
Nope.
That's ridiculous.
I fear
feel this
spiders.
passion. You should listen. I think this is cool. How do we feel about this? Do we feel that this is a good choice?
Well, I was going to let you guys say what your piece about it before I ranted about it. So go ahead, Josh. What do you think?
Yeah.
I love it. The guy's got he's got sort of a mean streak look about him, where he's capable of sort of a dark side. It just seems like just by the characters he's played, and kind of a tough guy as well. So I definitely think it's a good casting. Plus he's relatively young and fresh. He's been in a lot of stuff recently. People seem to like his performance. He's a believable guy. I think as Frank Castle, he'd be pretty great. So and now they did say he's cast as Frank Castle, and they didn't say how quickly the transition is made to Punisher.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
it was just like the Daredevil series itself.
No, but I mean, you never. It could be. Maybe it's not until the finale, right? But I mean, the Punisher and Kingpin had some showdowns.
Oh, absolutely.
Touche.
So I'm excited.
No, yeah. CJ, what do you think of the casting?
I think it's really cool. I'm I'm reading a little bit on his background as well, so here's something I would like as a personal story of the actor. He's got this weird like nose set up because his brothers they used to fight all the time like brothers do, and they broke his nose so many times that it never set correctly. But he doesn't look like one of the Wilson brothers. He actually looks good with it. I think it's this. If you watch The Walking Dead, and if I'm spoiling something for you, you are way far behind. His ability to go from calm to, oh shit, calm down, buddy, is amazing. And the range that this guy has is fantastic. And knowing very little about the Punisher, but knowing what I know, that's an important feature to have that stoic, yep, okay, fine, this is how it's going to fucking go down. But then at times when you just see red, you need someone who you will believe that when they see red, they don't know what they're doing. And I think this is a great choice. I'm really excited. I don't know how my wife's going to feel because she hates Shane in The Walking Dead, and she usually can't see past something like that. But I think this is going to be great. I think it's a good way to bring some much needed violence too. I think he's going to handle it really well.
Yeah. So, and I agree with you, CJ. He's got this intensity in his performance, especially in Walking Dead, where you're like, walking down the street and you're like, oh, tra la 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 la, Shane is fine. And then all of a sudden, like, something happens and Shane is no longer fine. And you're more worried about what he's going to do than what some other people are going to do. And that's really, I don't think Punisher is like, it turns on a dime like that. But Punisher is very intense when he needs to be. Like, this guy needs to be able to, hold a drill to some mobster's head. And you got to believe that he's going to just drill a hole right through him.
Punisher's also not tra la 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 la.
He will never tra la 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 la. So I'm super excited. Not only do I think he's got the look, I mean Frank Castle should have that same rugged New York cop who's been hit in the face one too many times look. But he's definitely got the acting and the role. The roles that he's done before has definitely shown that he's capable of doing that kind of role. And it's going to be cool, not just to see him and Kingpin throw down, but him and Daredevil have plenty of run-ins where they have to team up and then Daredevil's about to pull the trigger on some dirtbag cocaine dealer and Daredevil's like, no, that's not how we do things. And then they start going at it. So that should be really cool to see how the dichotomy between Charlie Cox's performance as Daredevil, he's very serene and very cool and very, like, I don't want to say mellow, but he's not like, he's intense when he's got to be, but there's that line that he won't cross, and Punisher doesn't have that line.
There's a really cool scene in The Walking Dead, and part of this is with the directing of Walking Dead and how they do it, but part of it is the actor himself. Shane he's just shaving his head, and it's just, there's no dialogue whatsoever. It's just watching this character shave his head, and he has this look in his eye. And as you watch the show, that's how it opens. You're just like, okay, well, he got bit. He's looking for a bite. He's going to die. He kind of feels that way. He knows that he's going to die. And then as you watch the episode, they come back to that exact same scene. It's the exact same look, exact same cut. Nothing has changed. They're just replaying this. And the same look he's also conveying now, oh, shit's going to go down. I'm a different person. And it's a combination of the directing, which I know is awesome on Daredevil, but also just how this actor with one look can convey so many thoughts.
Did either of you see Grudge Match?
No.
I didn't. I wanted to.
He plays the son, basically the son of a strange son of Robert De Niro's character. And what I thought was really cool in that movie was his ability to sort of emulate or mimic the facial expressions and the characteristics of De Niro. And I thought, well, look, this dude, obviously he can do some of that stuff and he can character act and that's kind of cool. But when I first heard he was cast for this role, I thought his ability to mimic or to emulate characters is going to come in handy here. And probably, like you said, that New York cop thing, he'll probably do some of that De Niro squish face look, just because that's part of the character, right?
What I'm also really kind of interested in is knowing how Daredevil has been done. I mean, we thought Daredevil was violent, and we thought that it had some badass character to it. I'm curious to see what Netflix is going to do with Punisher, because I mean, Punisher
how
is
do
probably
you how do you ratchet that up from
Yeah,
brutal,
exactly. How do
right?
you
From
go
brutal to super brutal.
That's the
Right,
thing,
'cause-
though. Daredevil was violent, but it was just the type of violence. Like, it was just brutal street fighting. Like, the best description of it would be that hallway scene. Not just because of like all the cool things that happen in it, but freaking Daredevil throws a mini fridge at some guy's face, and like towards the end of that fight, the real brutalness happens when they're all just tired, and he stumbles, he gets up, and he just beats all these guys like with the force of whatever he has left and gravity. He's beating these guys into a pulp.
And what we're saying is that's literally one of the best scenes in cinema. I mean, like,
Right.
seriously, one of the best shot scenes. How do you do better than that? And you know they will, but like,
Well,
I'm trying to
my point
I'm trying to picture it in
is
my
going
head, and
to
I
be-
can't.
My point being is that Punisher is more he's got that brutal fist fighting, aspect to him, but he's the guy who like just takes out his gun and just pops, some guy in the face.
Not when it comes to people who are responsible for the death of his wife.
Yeah,
and
I was
son.
gonna say once
So,
you get to those characters, it's
he's
not
gonna
that-
he's gonna completely lose it on somebody.
I don't think you'll see that happen. Like, I don't think he'll address that in a Daredevil series. That's something you do in a Punisher series.
But
that
that's
spins
the
off out of
genesis
it.
of that's the genesis
right,
of
and
the Punisher.
that's what we're saying is that he's going to be introduced as himself, right?
The season finale of Daredevil is the kickoff of the Punisher series.
Correct. Yeah, that's
is
what
I'm
I
saying.
see too. Yeah, exactly.
I
So
would
I'm
imagine,
curious how they're going to do it.
I would imagine that IMDb has him listed as Frank Castle / Punisher. I don't know if he's ever going to be the Punisher in the show. Maybe he might just be a New York City cop that, hasn't lost his wife and family yet. We'll see. I'm excited to see what's going to happen.
Season finale. That's what I'm saying.
I was just saying. I think it comes down to this. I think we're all excited about the casting. I think we're all very curious how they're gonna start the character, because you're right. They're not listening to him as Punisher. They're listening to him as before those events. So I think we're gonna see a different character, which is leading to Josh's point that we're gonna see a slight arc throughout this character in this series, leading to what we all believe to be his own spinoff. And I cannot wait. I think it's exciting, and the way that Netflix is handling their series right now, I'm pretty darn excited. I think that this is going to be fun.
Yep, thumbs up.
Really great. Now, this happens to be on the same vein as comics, Brian, and I want to allude to you if I can for another minute. We're talking about right now. What we're trying to do on the website is we're trying to have you help us with a weekly pull list of comics. So I'm curious as to what you're reading right now. I know a lot's going on with the Marvel Universe. Can you tell us a little bit about the comic world right now and what's happening?
The comic world, when you're talking about, like, let's just stick with the main publishers right now, DC and Marvel.
Right.
I don't want to say they're in disarray, but they're in the middle of their giant summer events. And these events are notorious for shaking up the status quo, changing things, turning things on its head. And DC just wrapped up their Convergence storyline, which, for a really brief synopsis of making something extremely convoluted as simple as possible, DC has been of the mindset that they have multiple Earths, multiple universes, and there's a Batman for each one. There's a Superman for each one. There's different versions. On one Earth, Superman landed in Russia, so he is a communist. And on another world, Batman is an actual vampire and stuff like that.
I refuse to accept any of these.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
And some of them are great. Some of them are cool little one-off stories. It's like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if Superman was a communist? And
No.
it's cool for like a trade paperback, and that's it. So about 3 years ago now, they revamped the storyline, and they did that New 52 push where they relaunched all their titles. And
Right.
it pretty much, they rebooted the timeline. They streamlined a whole bunch of things with the story Flashpoint. And now in Convergence, it pretty much did away with all of that. So now,
Wait, so they're just like, so listen, you've been spending a lot of time with this universe. Let's just trash it and let's just move on to something else.
it's
So
not that-
Convergence is Days of Future Past.
right,
Yes,
it's
yes, it
not,
is.
It's not like trash. That's the best. That's the good and scary part about
Oh.
this is that it's not over. It still exists out there. It's another parallel universe.
Sure.
So
Like Days of Future Past.
the thing is now all these universes exist again. We're up for the past 4 or 5 years, probably more. They didn't. You were very, like, everything was in one little box. So now everything's up for grabs. You can tell a story or read a story from any Earth, any timeline, any time. It's exciting and a little scary at the same time.
So on the scale from 1 to nerd, you just went to super nerd.
Yeah.
So let me ask this: as a person who doesn't read comics,
This is the box you opened.
I did. I know, but it's so
This is
crazy.
what you wanted.
I know, but if I'm a new, I want to get into comics, right? And I'm sure there's other people who are out there. If I walk into a comic book store, what do I do right now? Do I say, should I wait for all this DC and Marvel resets to be done, or can I jump into this now as a newcomer so that way I can like see the origin that is going to be the new universe? How do I get into comics?
Honestly,
if chaos is happening?
CJ, I will tell you what I've told numerous people who have asked me in my life and who've walked into the comic book store and wondered, where do I begin? Because there is so much backstory. There's so much stuff. You just got to find something you like, find some character you like. If you like Iron Man because of the Iron Man movies, cool. Just grab it and go with it and just run with it.
Well, my question is this. Since right now things are being reset, rehashed, redone, is this a good time to go ahead and do that?
I think,
is this a good time to grab a modern edition of a comic and say, teach me your ways, oh comic book nerd?
I think now would be as good as time as any. It's not necessarily now DC's storyline isn't necessarily rebooting everything. It's more like just kind of opening up more avenues and more stories for them to tell. Marvel is talking about doing a more of a hard reboot where everything starts over again almost. Not that
so
like,
right.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. No. I was going to say. So it sounds like right now chaos is good, in the sense that if you want to see different levels of a character, now's the time to jump into some comics.
Absolutely. And when it comes to comic books, chaos is always a good thing. You may not like the story. It may for a time there may be a bad moment here and there, but there's always the end goal is always enjoyable. There's always something new and cool and different that happens. And chaos isn't always a horrible thing. And here's the best part about comic books: if they screw up, then they will just reboot it again. That's
true.
That's the best part about it.
That's the same thing with movies and TV right now.
If we kill off the wrong character, we'll just bring him back. Perfect example. They killed off Hawkeye and everybody flipped out. Everybody got really angry about it. 6 months later, he was back. So it's one of these things where like, hey, let's just see how cool it can be to tell stories a little bit differently. And if it works, awesome. If it doesn't, we'll just reboot it again.
So does that also mean that right now the higher ups of comic book land and the publishers are listening to hear reactions? So if you as a fan don't agree with something, now's the time to give some feedback while they're working it?
I think, and from my experience of being a comic book fan, that they're always worried and not worried, but listening to their fan base all the time. When something doesn't up to status quo or something isn't, done justice, they usually find a way to fix it, retcon it, tell a new story that will, really kind of alleviate that kind of pain and pressure. That's the nice thing about comic books, because they're ongoing stories for the past 60, 70 years now. They have that freedom to change things. Whereas movies and TV, it's pretty much when it's done, it's set in stone. That's really what it is.
No, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I was just saying, Josh, you had talked in a previous episode about going to Golden Eagle Comics in Reading, and you had your pull list. You had a list that you always got a big box of comics.
Yep.
When was the last time you picked up a comic book from a shop?
For me, it's been more than God. It's got to be almost 20 years.
So have they done something like this in the past while you were reading comics? Like, how did you handle?
No, man. When I was reading comics, it was the first time things were being done.
Right.
No, I'm serious. It was Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man. It was Spawn #1. It was. I mean, that's what was going on then.
So are you excited to see the state of comics right now after what Brian's going to tell you?
This all makes my head hurt very badly.
Let's take an Advil.
No, I just don't. Seriously, I don't understand it. So I'm. What I'd like to do is I would love to get that. There's a few lists online of the best story arcs. So in the past year, I have read the Nightfall story arc, House of M, but these are older comic books. These are older story arcs. So I would love to. I don't know anything about New 52, so I plan on diving in a little bit, and I'll get with Brian offline about that.
So Brian's still working on, and we're finding a way to get this in the right format, because we want to make sure that if you're new to comics, you can get this, and if you're a comic veteran, that this is not just repeating the stuff that you already know. A way to kind of look at what's going on weekly in comics and what's going on. So, Brian, thanks for giving us some comic news. And
Yeah, no,
yeah, things got wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
and yeah, and I'm going to be doing this article every week, and we're going to. I mean, honestly, I'm sticking to some of my like safe zones. So honestly, anybody who has any feedback, like, hey, have you read this? Do you are you interested in this publisher or title? By all means, let me know. I'll pick it up and see what I think. Because right now, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I've been holding closer to my Batmans and Spider-Mans, and if there's something new out there that I should be checking out, by all means, let me know. Email me or comment on the website.
Toys R Us carries a whole series of new adventures with the 11th Doctor, so I've been buying Christian those.
Oh, yeah?
Nice.
Yeah. So obviously they have the 12th Doctor comics, but right next to it, there's new adventures with the 11th because they're like, 12 kind of sucks. We need more Matt Smith.
That's just Josh's philosophy in life. Can you just bring back Matt Smith?
Matt Smith and everything ever. I hear Matt Smith is going to be in the new Ghost Rider series starring Aaron Paul.
He is. Blackheart. He's going to be Blackheart.
I was going to say, who was he going to be? Come on, give him a part. Please, Josh, cast his entire movie. All right, so I want to move on to our next topic here, and that's basically some of you want to know what we're currently streaming, what we're working on. So I want to kind of open the floor. I want to do this. I want to get a progress report from Brian about Entourage and how far you're into it, and how much laughter has expelled from your body.
Progress report is, I think last time we talked about this, I was still in the middle of season 2. I just finished season 4. So I'm almost at the end. I think
what was the season 4 finale? What was that?
They just went to con with Medellin.
Oh, right.
So there,
right.
I just wrapped that up, and I think I've only got about 30 more episodes because the last couple seasons are very short. I think I've only got about 30, 35 more episodes till the end. So I'm enjoying it immensely. I just continue to love Ari more and more every episode I watch. Johnny Drama is getting a little more tolerable for me. I was not a huge.
Before it gets better.
Yeah, he's going to go backwards in just a few minutes.
Again.
Just a few episodes.
Yeah.
Did you get? I'm curious as a comic book fan. Have you gotten to the part where the comic book world is playing into the Entourage life? I always forget what season that is.
Season 2 where he plays Aquaman.
Oh, okay. That was season 2.
Yeah,
really?
yeah. No, that's
I
early
thought it was
on.
much later within the season.
No, I love the episode where they go to Comic-Con. That was enjoyable for me.
Aquaman was right after Head On.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
It's his
I have
next
to rewatch this. It's been a while.
But yeah, no, the kind of nerd, not even just with Aquaman. There's all sorts of kind of like geeky, nerdy like undertones through a lot of the stuff that they do. It's fantastic. I'm all about it.
Nice.
That's because of Josh's best friend in the whole wide world who always has to go see his movies, Marky Mark, and he's got a little nerd bone in him. So are you streaming? Are you binging on anything else besides the Entourage?
I'm trying, when I binge watch things, I don't try to split my
You're
attention.
a completist, aren't you?
I'm a completist. I start something, I gotta finish it. And if I don't, then I'm never getting back to it. Case in point, I started Breaking Bad like a year ago. I got distracted by something, I don't remember what, and I have not finished it. Doctor Who, that's exactly what I got distracted by.
That's what it was. I'm sorry.
I got distracted by Doctor Who.
And I remember the conversation. You're going, well, no, I'm in the middle of Breaking Bad, and we're like, you can always come back to Breaking Bad.
Right. Well, and here we are, like 3 years later. I haven't.
I was just saying the statute of limitations on you can always come back to Breaking Bad is about to expire on you.
I don't think so.
Anyway.
So yeah, I'm a completist. When I start something, I gotta finish it. And when I enjoy something as much as I'm enjoying Entourage, I'm not watching anything else.
Nice.
Josh, what are you working on right now from your binging perspective?
I just wrapped up Parks and Rec.
How did you like the ending of that? Because it should have ended the previous season. They brought it back for one additional.
So the ending, I really liked that the ending was 3 years in the future.
Right.
And they're talking about all this crazy stuff that happened. That was kind of
I love the John Hamm cameo. I lose my shit when I see that.
The John Hamm cameo was cool. I thought that the series finale was incredibly well done.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was funny, and it was, it was emotional, but it was very cool. And I liked the character development that happened especially through the series with Amy Poehler's character Leslie Knope, because I'm not a fan of Amy Poehler, but they did a really good job with that character. Chris Pratt's character is fantastic, but
It's
the
always
whole I think everyone in the series really developed well. So I can't say enough good things about Parks and Rec. You should definitely check that out. I've moved on. I wrapped up Parks and Rec last Sunday or this Monday. I can't remember which. In the past week, I'm now on episode 25 of the first season of 30 Rock, and
Wow.
I have not laughed once yet. As a
Not
matter of
even,
fact,
Alec Baldwin's not doing it for you, man.
no, he's funny.
He's very different in season one he's not as much.
I'm waiting. I know he's going to get more ridiculous, and I'm waiting for that.
My favorite thing is when they start. So like he's on that GE path, and then Cable Town comes in, and
I'm not there yet. So
I know that stuff just gets funny.
Yeah, so I really don't like Tina Fey. I don't like anything she does or says. I don't find her funny.
I'm gonna find something that you did like that Tina Fey was involved in
Wait.
as
Didn't
like a
you
writer
Mean
or something.
Girls?
No,
You didn't like Mean Girls.
no.
Okay.
I mean,
have we met Josh?
I've used the
double
Mean
checking.
Girls reference. I get what it's about but
Because I know he does the references. I was just making sure.
Right,
if he
but it's
didn't like
neither-
Neil
if-
Flynn's in that. You can justify it with Neil Flynn.
it's neither funny nor good. But I mean, it's there, and Rachel McAdams is hot, I guess. But other than that,
She's a little young in that movie.
no, she was 18 at least.
I
brother.
said a little. I didn't say completely underage.
Well, there you go.
All right, so 30 Rock, the legend. You're just kind of dragging it, and just, I'll laugh sometime.
No, that's look. I want it to be funny. It's not funny yet, so hopefully it gets funny. I'm gonna give it. How many seasons are there of this miserable show?
Yes.
like 5 or 6, I think.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna give it till at least season 3, and we'll see where I'm at there. I have been peppering in. I've been peppering in
Thank you.
episodes of Scrubs and Breaking Bad just to keep my spirits
Just a
up.
palate cleanser.
Yeah. So I mean, I'll get there. I just don't. I haven't yet found it funny.
So my streaming endeavor has turned to two ventures. I have one that I'm doing with my wife, and then one that I'm doing solo. So once my wife falls asleep on the couch after her long day, and I can't sleep, I'll put something else on. So my wife and I are rewatching Boy Meets World. And let me tell you,
Excellent choice.
it's a great,
That's
first
such a
off,
great
we're
show.
so happy with doing this. And it all started because I made my wife watch Girl Meets World. And there was an episode where Eric finally, comes on for an episode. And I'm like, yes, that's great.
Who's Eric?
Eric, Corey's brother.
His older
Corey?
brother, the main character.
His-
Corey's boy. Okay, gotcha.
Corey is boy that he meets the world throughout the series.
yes, okay, sorry. I was like, what?
Well,
No, I've never
he,
seen it.
he,
So then
you've never seen Boy.
watched,
That makes sense.
You've never seen Boy Meets World?
No.
It's probably like after his time or something.
Yeah, that is true.
He
It
was not a teenager when we were, CJ.
Yeah, I forgot.
Right.
He wasn't
You
learning
had-
about the world.
You had man meets cave, right? That's how that.
I had the Wonder Years, my friend.
Oh, I finished that a long time ago. Anyway, but this is the fun part. Girl Meets World. Eric Matthews makes a cameo, and he's in this weird beard, and he's all like crazy. And then what's funny is when you watch the first season, or one of like the last seasons of Boy Meets World, Eric in a flash forward sequence is wearing that exact same outfit. So they called it back in Girl Meets World. And Jenny just lost her mind seeing that these two shows were connected like that and the way that they were still holding true. So we started watching it. And I'll tell you, I have a damn different perspective on this show. Feeney is a dick. Feeney is an asshole in the first season and a half.
in like the first season, but as they
just a
like,
huge prick.
no, but later on, he's like
Yeah,
that
later
mentor.
on, but when I watched season 1 and 2 when I was a kid and I'm watching Boy Meets World, I'm like, Feeney's stern, but man, that guy's he's so wise and I want to be just like him. And now I'm just like, that guy's an asshole. He's just like a know-it-all prick, and he's really mean. And the dad is killing it. The dad is phenomenal. I watch the show now for the dad, and I don't know if it's because I'm a dad myself and I'm changing my perspective and the way I think, but god damn, man, he's killing it. So I'm so excited for that. The second thing I'm watching is I just got done with season 1. I'm just in literally second episode of season 2 of Castle.
Oh, so good.
So good. Did Castle happen during the writer's strike?
No, it ended.
Because they did like 10 episodes in season 1.
Yeah,
and then
it was one of those
24 in
things
season
where
2.
like it's one of those things where they do like
Probably
hey,
a fall. It was probably a fall season.
it was like a late
okay.
fall premiere, and they were like, let's see how this works, and it was a huge hit, and they're like, well, let's bring it back for real seasons now.
Yeah,
It's
because they did
so
like this
good.
like. The reason I thought it was during the writer's strike, and this is the problem when we binge watch things, is when the writer's strike happened, shows came and went, and things were kind of weird and put in limbo, and things were rushed to a hurry, so that when they came back,
Dr. Horrible
they had
sing
like
along
this
blog came out.
right. But when these shows came back, they had to do like, here's a recap, because there was no Netflix or something that you could watch beforehand. DVR wasn't really kicking around. So I saw that. It's been phenomenal, and something that I may add to my streaming queue, and something I thought was interesting. In Orange is the New Black season 3.
Yeah, it comes out.
It's already out. They
I
dropped it-
know. I'm just like I'm so like the second season was so bad,
It was pretty.
and I know
tough.
I have to watch season 3. I have to at this
Right.
point. I'm bought in,
Right.
so I have to watch it, and I'm not at all looking forward to it. Ugh. You know what I think I'll do? I think I'm gonna rewatch Cheers or Night Court or something, just to add some joy to my life.
Just-
Like
yeah, I was gonna say,
Night Court for the theme song alone is worth watching.
You're not laughing at 30 Rock. You're putting
No, but,
Breaking
like, you know,
Bad
the
in. Hold on, you're putting
combination of,
Breaking
like-
Bad into your palate cleanser, and then you want to put Orange is the New Black in.
Right. It's
If you don't have
killing
something
me.
with some humor, we're gonna find you somewhere, just curl up in a ball.
Night
going,
Court.
no.
I think it's Night Court with the.
I'm
you can't go
telling
wrong
you.
with little John Larroquette in your life.
Josh, if you want a show that's just going to make you feel good and laugh and a good story and captivating performances, watch Chuck.
No.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
Nope.
Can we please
I don't
put that
care
on your
if I
nerd
need to
watch list?
clockwork
No.
orange you to make you watch the show. You have to watch it.
Nope. And that would have doing the Clockwork Orange thing has the reverse effect, not the.
Yeah, you actually hate the thing that you're watching. You don't
Right, it
like
makes
the thing
you
that you're
vomit.
watching. Right.
Well, once
Watch
he gets
A
through the
Clockwork
first
Orange
episode,
again.
he'll be fine.
Oh my
Jesus,
God.
Brian, come on!
I'm not going to watch that again. I wanted
Mr.
to slip my wrist
Blockbuster,
after
how
the
do you
first
not-
time.
It's an amazing movie. Wakey.
You want to talk about depressing?
No, I don't want to talk. Never mind. I was going to make a comment, decided against it.
Good man.
No, I want to talk about awesome things, like stuff coming to your area or stuff coming locally to us that we could maybe sink our teeth into as nerds. Like perhaps, I don't know if you've heard this traveling thing. It's very low key, by the way. This budget for this thing is just atrocious. And I mean that with the utmost sarcasm. The Marvel experience is rolling through, y'all.
Yes.
They're gonna be in Philadelphia from June 19th to July 5th. They're heading out to Chicago from July 11th to August 2nd. New York City is getting August 13th to August 30th. And then they're wrapping up in St. Louis from September 5th to September 20th. So a very wide net that they're casting. Tickets go from like $25 to $45. So this thing is not going to break the bank for you to go through. And really, it's all about a super immersive, hyper reality experience of getting into Marvel, where you're basically a SHIELD agent. So you can register in, you get a SHIELD ID, you get a whole experience. It looks pretty damn exciting to see some of these characters off of the screen and maybe in a more immersive environment, kind of on par with some like the theme park stuff that they have at Universal Studios. Josh, have you looked into this at all? Have you seen this?
I have, and I'll say this: there's the initial reaction from a lot of the people I know is, "Oh, we're going," and then I thought immediately, these are all drunk people that are gonna go to this thing. So I'm not gonna be taking my kids this time around for sure. However, I will say this: for those of you who are in the Philly area, are interested, and want to see this thing, but maybe don't want to be around all of the Philadelphia unfriendlies, if you know what I mean. If you go on a Saturday towards like it launches again June 19th, CJ, till July 5th, right? So you have-
I'm
you have-
sorry, I have to reload the
You have 3 Saturdays.
June 19th to
yeah.
July 5th, correct?
That you have 3 Saturdays in there. Most of the unfriendlies, those last 2 Saturdays, will be in Wildwood. So go.
That's true.
one of those last 2 Saturdays or Sundays, you'll be able to go enjoy yourself without all of the the crowd that you don't want to see from Philly.
So let me tell you what this is a little bit about for people who haven't done some homework on this. Basically, you're taking a journey through a 3D 360 stereoscopic full dome projector theater. And what you do is a motion ride, and where you battle the Red Skull, and you battle Hydra, you scale buildings with Spidey, you smash villains with Hulk, you even get to do some Vision and Iron Man shenanigans within that. And it's so immersive that you really feel like that you're there. So huge nerds. It's a great opportunity. Kids, this is geared towards kids in mind as well. So this isn't something that only adults can do. So this can become a family bonding nerd experience.
Yeah,
Brian,
it is a family thing. Brian, I need both hands where I can see him at this point. Good man.
Shut up and take my money. I'm going. I don't know when, but I'm going.
The next thing that we're looking at that's on your calendars is Steel City Con, which is August 7th through August 9th in right outside of Pittsburgh.
It's in Monroeville.
Monroeville, thank you. There's a convention center there. This is one of the largest cons in the U.S., short of, I think, San Diego Comic-Con. They have 100,000 square feet of convention space, 750 vendors, Q&A panels, celebrity photo ops. I mean, tons and tons and tons and tons of stuff. It looks really convenient, really Pittsburgh for us is not a huge drive.
No, and I've been to Pittsburgh quite a few times in the past couple of months, so I can say this: it's just over 4 hours. I don't mind driving it. We should all just pile in my car and go.
Yeah,
Can I Tetris the bags in the back?
They have a single day and 3-day passes available too. And this, we're talking. We have to plan, and we're thinking.
Think about that $20, right? To go up there. It's all right. So you're not going to go on a Friday if you're from the eastern part of PA, Jersey, New York. You're probably not going to go on Friday, but get up early on Saturday, right? It's a 4-hour drive, 4.5. You get out there for $20 per person. You can hang out for the whole day,
right,
and drive back happy.
So what Josh is saying, because I want to give some prices too, it's $20 per day. So if you do Friday or Saturday or Sunday, it's $20. If you're going to go for all 3 days, it's only $40. So it behooves you, if you're going to be in that area, to not just do the entire con. Even if you go for 2 days, it's pretty awesome. And their lineup is pretty awesome. I saw Adam West is making. Brian, you kind of went a little ham on the list of people.
I did go ham. I've met Adam West before. It was the single greatest experience of my life.
Of course you have.
What is that supposed to mean? I met him at another con of sorts. No, Adam West and Burt Ward are going to be there, which are the Batman and Robin from the 60s. I saw the Karate Kid is going to be there, and I don't mean Ralph Macchio. I mean Billy Zabka.
Ralph Macchio will actually be there.
The actual Karate Kid,
but Ralph Macchio will also be there as well. What's her name for Chasing Amy, Josh? Joey Lauren Adams. She's going to be there.
Thank the good Lord.
Bret Hart's going to be there too.
Hey, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be.
So yeah, I mean, there's some pretty cool people who are going to be here. Adam West is worth price of admission alone in my book, but that's just me because I just find him so damn entertaining.
If he's actually as batshit crazy as he's portrayed on The Family Guy, I want to see that.
Chasing around the Noid along the con floor.
I just kind of hope so. That's one of those wishes where you're just like, are you really that crazy?
Right. Yeah,
listen, you can break character. Just tell me. I
really actually want to make this happen. So whatever we need to do, boys, to make this happen, it'll be my first con. The drive to Pittsburgh is a really easy one. For those of you who maybe live a little bit further away, but have friends or family in Pittsburgh, or you want to come out, if you're gonna drive into Monroeville, don't try to stay in the Monroeville area when there's a con going on. Stay 25 minutes away in an area called Tarentum. It's cheaper.
So what we're getting at is this is a great opportunity if you're in the Pennsylvania area or close to Pittsburgh to really kind of jump up. We may go and if you want to maybe see that kind of nerd, you want to see us, meet us, say hi, hit us up
on Twitter. Let's meet up, man.
Yeah, seriously, let's see if we'll make this happen because this seems pretty exciting. So here's the other part. If you have any nerdy things or nerdy events going on that you know of that you want to plug or you want to let us know,
We're not talking about
hit
the cookout I'm having at my entourage style house, right? Because that's kind of
You mean where the male to cat ratio is extremely low?
I was trying to
extremely
keep that. I was trying to keep that low key, dude. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be a sausage fest up.
That-
there.
Yeah,
that's
no,
very true.
I wanted that to be A-list. I wanted that to be A-list people. But you know what? You're a listener of that kind of nerd, aren't you? Yeah, you are. You're welcome. Come on down. I'll cook you a brat. They'll be delicious. And if you're not in a bratwurst, you get out of here and you stop listening to our show right now. Please don't. I love you all. Please don't leave me.
After lunch, there will be Quidditch. Brian's place has its own Quidditch pitch.
We'll take a picture of you jumping in midair with a broom and you and we'll just take a picture of that.
So the
That'd be
con,
lame.
let's make it happen.
So yeah, listen, and if you have an idea, we're just email it at podcast@thatkindofnerd.com or hit us up on Twitter using TKON events as a hashtag. Just let us know what's going on. We'll plug your stuff. We have absolutely no problem doing that. So speaking of things that I have problems with, we're at the bar the other night. Trick Patrick's wow, I can't speak today.
Patrick Triccolo, my hetero life
Your
mate,
life mate.
and Facebook proclaimed soulmate.
Yes,
Turns-
looks. Go ahead,
turns to me-
Josh.
I'm
it's
just
you.
gonna I'm just gonna say it.
Please.
Turns to me and says, "Hey, man, what's your favorite song of all time?" And I remember distinctly saying to him, "What you can't possibly expect me to be prepared to answer that question. What kind of question is that? And how dare you? And who are you to ask me that kind of question?" Here's the thing. I don't think it's fair to ask anyone, what is your favorite whatever. I can't possibly, especially, you know what? Give me a week's notice in writing if you want that kind of, like, if you want me to, I'm going to need advance notice to give you, because I don't know why, but the only thing that flooded my head was the songs from the Tool album Undertow in 1993. I was like, I don't know, Sober, Prison Sex, Crawl Away. I don't know. It's got to be one of those three, right? That's all I can think about. And then like an hour later, we're talking about something else, and I'm like, damn it, I forgot all about Pink Floyd. So
it's one of those things that after someone asks you that kind of question, and if you do supply an answer, not even 10 minutes later, just like, no, fuck, wrong answer. I gave you the wrong one.
He asked me the question. I got all kinds of anxiety. I vomited twice, and then I just started babbling uncontrollable because I can't. How do you ever expect me to answer a question? What is my favorite whatever? It's unfair. Unfair.
So I want to pose some questions to you guys, and I gave you zero prep time on purpose for this, but I want to get your opinions on this. If you are trapped in a room with no escape, cannot get out, there's no windows, no doors, you're just stuck like a sim in a room, okay, and you can only listen to one song, and here's the caveat to it: it's not blasting you, it's controlled with your thoughts on how loud it should be, but you will always hear it. What song would you like to be trapped in a room with? I'll give you my answer, so that way you can go ahead and think about it. It'd be Otis Redding, Sitting on the Dock of the Bay, because it's so great that I would listen to it over and over and over again, but good enough that I could tune it out and still not go batshit crazy or crazier because of the same song. And it's got a great whistling section, because what song doesn't have whistling that isn't great?
I'm trapped in a room and I got one song.
You got one song. It's playing through an intercom. You can't ever turn it off.
The song that doesn't end by Lamb Chop.
No, are you fucking kidding me?
No,
You would be insane.
of course, I'm kidding you.
This is
All right. So the only thing that comes to my mind is the only thing that's in my brain is "Hey You" by Pink Floyd from The Wall.
You want that to be your song to be?
I don't have another. That's all. You can't do this to me. It's I'm in a room by
I just
myself,
wanted to see
and,
the real world reaction.
and
to
the
you
thing
doing
that I
this.
think of is "Hey You," where the dude's basically by himself talking to people on the other side of the wall. So yeah, that's the only song that's in my head. You piece
All right.
of shit.
All right, Brian, how about you?
He already said the lamb chop.
No,
song.
no,
That's
it's not. It's not.
No, you're
it's
stuck.
not-
Go crazy,
You're locked
sir.
in.
I'm not locked in. This isn't my final answer. Here Comes the Sun. Probably would be the only song.
Oh, okay. All right.
By the Beatles.
Well, yeah,
So
of course,
here's-
by the Beatles. I'm sorry, I didn't think I needed to specify.
No,
the
it's a
mother
cover
effing
song
Beatles.
by Tool.
Been covered a million times, and Tool would have done
sure
an
they-
amazing
I'm sure
job
they
with
would
Here
have.
Comes the Sun.
Sorry,
So
the
here's-
Rihanna remix of "Here Comes the Sun." That's what I want to listen to.
To your funeral, brother.
No,
Here's
the,
another
the
one.
one by the Beatles. Yes.
Here's another one. You're trapped in this room,
Don't you dare say movie.
and you do only have
You son
one
of
movie.
a bitch.
See, I got Josh mad with music. I gotta get you mad with movie. What movie do you watch for eternity?
What's
Until
yours?
Mine, I'll go with The Mask by Jim Carrey.
The Breakfast Club.
I refuse to answer this question
Ooh.
based on principle.
Nope.
No.
You must supply an answer.
Spit it out.
I refuse. I don't have one.
You have to pick one. I just
I
said
have
The
to
Breakfast
pick
Club.
one.
You,
All right,
I
here.
worked
Let me
at
tell you. Hold on,
Blockbuster.
let me-
I've
let me-
seen
let-
thousands of movies, and I own 1,000 movies.
Let
you
me
can't make
feed
me
you.
choose one. You can't make
Let
me.
me feed you why this is okay. Because
If
like,
you
for
don't
me-
choose one, I'm going to play Old Boy for you over and over and over.
It's a
wait, the original
horrible
or the
choice.
remake?
Yes, is the answer to that question.
Okay. So Brian, here's my thought to this. The Mask is hilarious, so I can laugh. It's got younger Cameron Diaz in it, so it's got some sex appeal to it. And I know pretty much all the words to it, so I can act it out by myself and still have a great time.
All the same reasons why I said The Breakfast Club.
So
Because you laugh, you cry, you're tough, you're a jock, you're a nerd, you're an outcast, you're a prep.
here's the reason why I think that's a dangerous movie for you, just for you, Josh. Is at the end of that movie, right? And you feel successful and like, yeah, and you put your fist up in the air while the music plays. At the end of it, you're going to be motivated to try to find a way out of that room, and it's going to be futile.
I'm gonna crawl across the thing.
Oh, no, you're not
and
getting
I'm gonna
out.
fall into utility closet.
No, you're not getting out.
I am.
This isn't
And then
Portal.
I'm gonna
You're
have
not
to
getting
find
out.
my way around the whole school back to the library. I am John Bender.
All right, Brian, you've dodged enough. We've given you enough time to run through your IMDb in your head. Supply us with a movie.
I'm just gonna say this, and I'm going to get like 6 text messages on Monday that why did you what? No, you should have said this movie, and it's not. Damn it!
Spit it out.
I my gut reaction says
Today, Junior.
my gut reaction says Back to the Future. That's
Good
my
for
gut
you.
reaction.
Oh, good. I'll allow that. That's fantastic. Okay, this question.
We're
I'm
gonna get to the end
borrowing
of this podcast, and I'm like, shit! I should have said that movie.
the next question I'm lifting straight from the Chive podcast, where they have some questions that they ask their guests. So, assuming that your music has stopped, your movie will no longer play, and you are slowly drifting into madness, what is one person, living, dead, fictional, or otherwise, that you would like to have a conversation with until the end of days? Who is the person that you would like to be trapped in a room and have a conversation with? Can be anybody, fictional, whatever.
Go ahead.
Oh, you want my answer for this?
Yeah, you
I'm-
started this.
I'm still kicking this around.
No, too bad.
I know, and what I've landed on, and I will change my answer. I know as soon as I listen to this again on Monday, is I will be trapped in a room with, and I'm still indecisive about it, Jim Carrey, because not only will it just be great just to talk to him and maybe riff off The Mask and hey, I watched that, and we can just reenact this together, and I can be every other part, and you can be you. But also, he like studied Andy Kaufman well enough that he was.
You would want to be
method acting with Andy
Cameron
Kaufman.
Diaz?
Yeah, I would love to be Cameron Diaz.
Just-
Are you
just
kidding
making
me? I was
sure.
in Charlie's Angels.
In
with
this
Lucy Liu.
mythical scenario, you were talking and making out with Jim Carrey. Just so you know.
I'm okay with that. I'm
Okay.
drifting into madness,
Okay. All right.
so I'm cool with that. And then also, he was Andy Kaufman method acting, so I could even talk to Andy Kaufman. I could talk to a variety of people being trapped in a room with Jim Carrey.
Can only
Brian,
be-
I'm gonna go to you. Who would you like to be
You're the
trapped
worst.
in a room with from all
You're the
eternity?
worst
I know.
kind of person.
I'm so glad I didn't give you any notice for this.
This-
As soon as Josh gave me this topic, I was like, yes,
This
I'm gonna
is
so
why
screw with them.
we can't have nice things.
Yep, and we're gonna get ants if you don't answer this question
and
quickly.
you're
Do
the
do
reason
you want
why I
ants?
drink at night, and all of that.
Listen, don't spit on my cupcake and tell me it's frosting. Give me an answer.
I don't have an answer. I've never actually thought about this. This is the first time I've ever like, oh, if I could
would
be
you
trapped in a
want to
room.
be trapped in a room with like Stan Lee or Peter Parker, someone like that?
Say Kristen Bell, dude. Jeez.
Yeah. Anyway, what the
Wait,
hell?
whoa! Is there a chance that I might get lucky with Kristen Bell in this scenario?
Remember, this person is not real, so it's all up in your little noggin here, buddy.
Well, if it's all fake, then what difference does it make?
Because you're slowly drifting into madness. You need a companion.
Why don't I?
Haven't you ever watched a single episode of Doctor Who to know that you need a companion? when you
Right,
drift
I
into
know,
madness?
but if I'm drifting into madness and this isn't real, can't I make this person change to whoever I want it to be?
It's one person.
Why does it have to be one person?
Why are you complicating
Brian,
the rules?
Brian, can you pick one person?
Jesus.
I'm just saying your rules make no sense.
This whole thing makes no sense. That's the point.
I think Stan Lee would be a lot of fun to sit in a room with, but I don't think for eternity. I don't think I could talk to Stan Lee
Well,
forever.
too bad you just said Stan Lee, true believers. You heard it right here.
You're locked in.
Fine,
Stan Lee. I'm
Excelsior.
locked
You're locked in. Excelsior, you're there.
Enough said.
Burns, you're trapped in your room.
No
What are you stuck
rules,
with?
right? No rules,
Whoever you want,
but only
whatever
one
you want.
person.
But only one person.
It'd be Laura. She's
Aww.
Amy Pond to both my doctor and my Rory. So it works both ways.
Will she nag at you if you don't keep your
Shit
room
just
clean?
got real.
my-
CJ was not
Laura-
prepared for that.
Laura doesn't nag at me ever.
Oh, okay, that's true. You are Josh Burns. That doesn't happen to you very
Right,
often.
right. I'm
I'm sorry. Were you trying to nag? Move on. Just move along.
No,
Peasant.
if I had to pick one person to drift slowly into madness with, it'd be my wife.
All right. Aw, that's so sweet. Such a great way to end that. But listen, that brings really, and this is the reason I asked. It's just as soon as I saw the rage in your face once you were telling me the story with
You
with
thought
Patrick,
you know what I'm gonna do.
I was like,
I'm
I
gonna
have
piss
to poke the bear
everybody
even
off.
more.
Thank
But
you for that.
You're welcome. But this happens to nerds all the time. I know this happens to Brian when it comes to comic books and movies. Happens to me with actors and and things like that. And Josh, God, I know it happens to you for anything because you're like sports teams and players and
Yeah, you're a
The
huge
whole
Giants
nerds.
fan, right?
I'm gonna kick you in the face.
I actually have a picture of you celebrating when you found that we finally got you the best Giants logo on your phone. Picture of you celebrating, hands in the air,
I remember
head
you were
thrown back.
so happy.
I think I remember the video distinctly having me freaking out.
I had a
and
picture,
calling
so-
all of you sons of bitches.
It didn't lead to the origin of probably the best group chat in existence.
It sure did.
Thank you for that wonderful experience. I thought this was fun. Listen, did you have anything that you want to say more about people asking you these kinds of questions?
No, I think that lists are fun, and I think that in a way, CJ, being put on the spot like this is fun too, because I'm forced to think of the first thing and spit it out, and that's usually your genuine reaction. So
It's the mentality of like if you try to flip a coin to figure out an answer to something, while it's in the air, you usually figure out what you really want to be your
I
answer.
just let the first thing that come to my mind be the answer, and I'm okay with that. I'm at peace with that.
Until tomorrow. when
No,
you
I'll be
think about
fine.
this.
I'll be fine
Okay.
tomorrow too. Yeah, it's all right.
I'll be haunting myself. Go, oh man, I should have been in a room with that person or this person. And then you said your wife, and I didn't say my wife, and then my
Oh
wife,
yeah,
and then
you're
I can just say
you're
that.
in so
completely
much
screwed
trouble.
now. Yeah.
Great.
So much
Just
trouble.
Wonderful. So listen, I like that. I thought that was fun. I think this is maybe something we'll pull out every once in a while when you guys are not suspecting it, so no one can coach you. And if you have any suggestions for this kind of scenario where you're locked in a room and you only have blank, tweet them to us with I don't know. What hashtag should we use for that? TKON room. I like that.
TKON
room.
madness.
Madness. We're eating up your 140 characters with a really long hashtag. Suck on that, fans. Anyway, so speaking of being trapped in a room, the opposite of that, being free as a bird and traveling around. Josh, with your current lifestyle, you get the ability to go ahead and meet a lot of people, and you get to go a lot of cool places. And when we're talking about these events outside of our normal coverage map of where we live, you get to go to San Diego and things like that all the time. I want to hear a little bit about your nerd life travels and what you've noticed as a nerd, how technology has helped you in traveling and those kind of scenarios, those kind of thoughts, or whatever you wanted to share about your traveling life.
Well, I mean, obviously, tech helps everyone in every situation at this point. But for traveling, I've become incredibly app reliant, and not to the point where I'm not social. That's not what I mean. But I Yelp everything, right? So wherever I'm at, I hit up Yelp. I find the place I want to go. I go there. Before I go to a city, I'm on the Thrillist app to find out where the locals go, what the cool bars are, what the cool restaurants are that are maybe off the beaten path, cool stuff to do. I'm on StubHub or I'm on Craigslist looking for maybe a ticket to a ball game, while I'll be in town or whatever. But I mean, I try to do a few things. I try to meet one or two new people every day. And I don't mean in a professional setting. That's my job. I mean, after I'm done working and I go to a restaurant or whatever, I sit at the bar. Obviously I'm by myself. There are other people around, and I don't force my way into conversation, but that stuff happens naturally, right?
I was going to say, knowing you're never out of a conversation.
No, yeah. So you talk to the bartender, you join a conversation, people end up talking. It's a lot of fun. And I made a few cool connections that way. People that, so the best traveling story I have is this. My second trip out to San Francisco with my company, we were staying at this hotel out near the airport in San Francisco, and we were at the bar, me and two of my friends from work, and we met up. We started a conversation with this woman who was traveling the entire coast with her son before he goes back to school for his senior year of high school, and she ended up being at the hotel for the entire week that we were there. So we hung out at the bar with this woman and her son, who was a minor, every single night. He's just sitting there drinking water and talking and talking to us. And man, it was the best. And I'm Facebook friends with her. We check in on each other every so often. It was a very cool experience. And since then, I'm constantly looking to. It taught me that you have to branch out. You can't just hang out with your work friends and that's it. I mean, you gotta be cognizant of the world around you and open to new experiences. And so when I'm in a new place, I try to eat at a different place every night. I try to drink one different beer every night, and I try to do something different every time I'm in that place.
So how does your smartphone, your supercomputer in your hand, help you do that? If I'm traveling to a place I've never been before, what can I do to go ahead and be a local and not be a tourist?
What to repeat? I mean, the first thing I would do is download the Thrillist app and sign up. Thrillist covers most of the major cities, most of the major metros. So you go to Thrillist and you can find out where the locals eat, where the locals drink, places to avoid, or if you're a little bit more adventurous, sort of the bad decision bars to go to.
Wait, what? Really?
Oh yeah, man. There's a Thrillist article for the best bad decision bars in Philly and Pittsburgh. I'm a little old for that at this point, but for a lot of people, and look, for those of you who are traveling and are single, just get on Tinder and go. That should look. Some of my friends.
Please Tinder responsibly, okay?
Some of my friends, and we work in a job where we're traveling a lot, and some of my friends are doing quite well on Tinder. So I would say use your smartphone responsibly, but if you're single, go crazy. For me, it's really more Thrillist, Yelp, Untapped is probably the social network that I was
going to say, if you want to see activity at its highest, I think Josh is one of the most active users on Untapped.
I am not. My friend Craig, who I very much hope I can get to contribute to our site, this dude has had, 1,000 different beers. I'm somewhere between 150 and 200 at this point. So
all right.
He's been on it quite a lot longer, and he does quite a few more brewery tours than I do. But it's a highlight of what I do. When I get to go try a different beer, Columbus, Ohio and Pittsburgh have been two of my favorite places to visit because they're so alive with young people. The cities are up and coming. There's a ton of breweries out there, a lot of fun stuff to do. Pittsburgh is a blast, as is Columbus. Columbus is sort of way more well planned out and easier to drive around, where Pittsburgh is the traffic is just the worst thing ever. It's awful.
So I know that part of your routine when you're on the road and driving is, I know you got probably 9 billion fantasy sports podcasts that you're listening to?
I have about 11 fantasy football podcasts that
I heard it's over 9,000.
I heard it is over 9,000. Actually, that's
It's too damn high.
And then the other thing that you do too is you listen to Beats Music now. If you listen to our WWDC episode, first off, bless you for that. Like kudos for that podcast. And if you haven't, no judgment. You're okay. It was a special.
So sidebar, just really quick, because my dad did listen to it, and he texted me.
Oh God, where's the letter?
No, there's no letter. He just texted me. He's like, you know what? That stuff's not really my cup of tea. But I did learn Josh Burns likes the Beatles, so he's got a point in my book.
Nice.
So I know that Beats Music is your driving force. Oh God, that was a terrible pun. I didn't even mean that. The driving force behind your music. And Apple is changing that into the Apple Music. So my question is, from a technology standpoint, are you going to be changing music services to Apple? Or are you going to use somebody else? Or are you going to start experimenting?
No, I mean,
what are you doing for music?
I'm hoping that Apple will end Beats Music and just transition my account to Apple Music. I don't know how it's going to go, but
I want to do the family share with you all for Apple Music.
yeah, that's fine. I'll do the family share, whatever.
I'll share anything.
Please
with you,
do
TJ.
not sound that excited about it, Josh. Contain your excitement on doing that.
I already
together.
have to do the family share because here's what happens. I'll be driving somewhere and I'll throw in Beats Music and I'll get a text from Laura like, I'm trying to work and I'm listening to music. Can you listen to a podcast? Oh, okay. Or no, I want to listen to the Beastie Boys right now. You listen to a podcast. So I will use Apple Music, but I think it's just going to take over for Beats Music because it's basically the exact same system with the same features,
Right.
curated by the same people. So it's probably just going to transition. And I'll tell you what, if you're interested at all, the playlist, I've been kicking this around. There's 3 playlists I've had on repeat all week, but the one that sort of did it for me this week was a playlist curated by Susie Cole for Beats Alternative called Shut Up and Dance.
All right.
And it does have Shut Up and Dance by Walk the Moon on it, but it's all of
Damn
this.
good song.
It is a great song, but
Damn good song.
it's a ton of alternative music by bands that you know, probably some you don't, but all with this crazy upbeat, good feel to it. Super chill playlist. I'll send you the screen caps I have so you can put them in the show notes.
Please.
But that's Shut Up and Dance by Beats Alternative, curated by Susie Cole for Beats Alternative. That's the playlist that I recommend this week.
So what I want to do, and I want to help and we're not 100% done yet, but I want to make sure I can kind of give everyone a little bit of an idea here. In the show notes of our show, and if you're new to the podcasting world, like some of you are, when you load up our episode, if you just tap our logo on the Apple podcast application, it'll flip it around and give a little description what the episode's about, but also have links to our website, but it's also going to have links to like the applications Josh talked about. It's going to have things for like Yelp if you're not a Yelper, or if it's going to have Thrillist if you've never heard of Thrillist, like I haven't, so now it's on my phone.
Thrillist is amazing.
So I'm sorry?
Thrillist is amazing, and I've been using it for a little over a year, even before I started this job traveling. But since I've been traveling, if you're going to a major city, it's awesome. I mean, because it eliminates all of the crap of there's 1,000 restaurants. Which 3 do I want to go to? And gives you a review.
Pandorica.
It gives you, so here's the restaurant. Here's what you should order. Here's a secondary recommendation. And here's what time you should go because it gets nuts after 10.
No, it's good.
It's awesome.
That's stuff we need. And when we go to Pittsburgh, I'm sure we'll be using that. So basically, listen, I think when it came to what we talked about today, I think we're pretty excited about the Punisher casting. I think Netflix has some good stuff on its hands. And you know what? Netflix hasn't steered us wrong with original series, with maybe the exception of Orange is the New Black Season 2, which just didn't live up to the expectation that we really came to.
Because she was only in there for a little under a year. And
Whoa, spoilers. No,
No,
I have no intention of watching it. Go ahead.
Damn, that was gold.
Yeah. It should have ended after season 1. There shouldn't have been a season 2. Season 2 shouldn't exist.
Well, never mind. I'm not going to start how season 3 wasn't supposed to exist, and here it is. But listen, Punisher. awesome. I got Shane from The Walking Dead, who's going to play a comic book character. I think that's pretty awesome.
You mean Robert De Niro's son from Grudge Match?
Yes, Robert De Niro's son from Grudge Match, who
Good.
was in The Walking Dead.
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's okay. It's just really, you're not going to, if you are willing to give 30 Rock a season, you won't even give Walking Dead
The first
10
season of
episodes?
Walking Dead is like 12 episodes.
Nope.
Just bunker down and watch.
They have a tie-in to Breaking Bad.
I watched Zombieland, and that's about as far as I'll go.
But you're just anti-zombie.
I hate zombies.
So
They don't make any sense.
That's a little, neither does Harry Potter when you really look at it.
No, Harry Potter makes perfect sense. Zombies make no sense.
No. There's some of the plot holes in the Harry Potters.
I haven't found a single.
I will hook you up to Jenny. She'll explain them to you, or we'll do an episode about it. But there's some of the plot holes.
I mean, I'll just tell you one right now. The time turner thing. Why don't we just go back there and
seriously,
just not let Voldemort ever exist or anything? Like, why?
Because of your stupid rules.
Now, hold on. I would say some of that is some time event stuff that you can't change.
Yeah, okay. The thing, fine. There are things.
It's the same thing I said about Ra's al Ghul.
This isn't about comic books, Brian, where we can just reset universes. This is Harry Potter, sir. You see what I did there? You see what I did there?
I see what you did there.
I brought it back to the topics. So listen, Brian, are you working on a series to help us with the weekly list of things that are coming out?
I'm actually going to drop the first article this week of the comic books that came out on Wednesday and what I'm reading, and I'd love to hear some feedback and see what everybody else is interested in and reading. Even if you're just like, hey, this seemed cool, can you check it out? Let me know how it is. I'll read it. I have no problem doing that.
He's also dropping a mixtape the week after.
Yes. Don't pass me the aux cord.
That's what it's titled? Don't pass me the aux cord? That's good.
Yes, that's the title.
And that's perfect. Now, Brian, we usually drop our articles on thatkindofnerd.com on Mondays. Are we expecting to see a weekly pull list on Monday, or does it come during a different day?
I'm going to start because New Comic Book Day is Wednesday, so it's either going to drop Wednesday night or Thursday morning, depending on how fast I read.
So keep your eyes peeled to our Twitter feed, our Facebook page, or our website directly if you're an RSS person. Look at you using RSS, you smart, wily nerd. We're streaming. I think does anyone have anything that we have that we're encouraging each other to watch? Is there anything that needs to go onto our list?
Yeah,
besides Josh needs to watch freaking Chuck, for the love of God.
I'll tell you what,
Chuck. I will watch.
Are we doing this again?
Here we go. I'll make a deal.
One season of Chuck if you both watch Deadwood in its entirety.
Oh, I'm good with that.
Oh wow, we're gonna go back to this. All right,
I'm okay with that.
Deadwood it is.
I've always
you heard it here,
Deadwood.
folks.
You guys let me know when you start Deadwood, and I will start Chuck that day.
I get to learn that cowboys used to curse.
Challenge accepted.
In the most eloquent way possible, too.
I'll be trying to keep up with some events that are happening around not only the area but around the country. Things that maybe if you're traveling, you can go ahead and visit. This can be in the time span of about 90 days. So you can get things planned and things put together. And if you have any suggestions for those, please make sure that you give them to us.
When CJ weighs in on what's coming up, I will do my best to coordinate with him, and where I have some expertise, weigh in on places to stay, places to eat, places to drink, places to avoid, and just to help your travel a little bit.
And we'll make sure it ties into your current technology, so that way you can just grab your phone and have a whole travel guide. So
indeed.
Maybe even through our website. Who knows? You know what? I think we should go into the travel agency thing, the TKON Travel. I think that'd be great. Just branch out, really diversify ourselves.
Why not? Let's get a whole portfolio built.
Absolutely right, exactly. So when we go IPO, people are like, oh yeah, they're not only just a nerd site, but they're a travel website
You're
as well.
getting way ahead of yourself.
Take that, Priceline. Take that, Priceline.
You think we can get Kelly Cuoco to do the commercials?
Yes, absolutely. Because our fans are just.
Is that Priceline or is that some other?
That's Priceline. No, it's Priceline.
Anything that allows me to meet Kelly Cuoco would be super. So if we can make that happen.
I heard that if you get this little thing called a restraining order, she has to meet with you at least twice a month, like twice a year.
Twice a year.
Just at least to say, yes, please keep Josh Burns away from me. Which, by the way, if you are part of that list, it's banjoshfrommyhouse.com. You can always put your address in there, and he will be refused to show up, and he can only enter if welcomed, like a vampire.
Like a vampire, yeah.
Exactly.
Needs to be invited in.
It has to be doing that. if you have ideas for your favorite things or that kind of nerd room or that kind of nerd madness, I don't know. I'll figure out a hashtag by the time I publish this. I'm going with TKON room though. That's my idea. Give us your suggestions, and then I'll spring it upon these two, unbeknownst to them, and watch their reactions and watch Josh squirm when he's asked to list his favorite something. And Josh will keep us up on his travels. Gentlemen, do you have anything else you need to tell our fine friends, our fine nerds that are listening?
No, thanks for listening. Talk to you next week.
Well, hold on, real quick. I do want to say this, and I want to do this before the outro. I really want to thank you guys, Brian and Josh, and for doing this show with me. Doing a podcast has been a huge dream of mine, and I didn't think we would get past episode 3. Then 5 came along, and now we have 10, and we got to episode 10, which has been a huge milestone. So I want to thank you guys for coming every week and taking an hour out of your lives and doing the show with me. It means the world to me to do it this way. I've got to thank our fans as well for you. People are actually listening to us. We're part of someone's morning drive, part of someone's walk around the neighborhood, and it means so much that you're willing to just put our voices in your head and listen to us.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
thank you, CJ, for approaching me 2 years ago and said, "Hey, we should start a website." Because it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of work, but it's been fantastic. So thanks. 10 episodes and to many more, I hope.
So there's 2 things that I need your help with, fans. All right. So this is a call to that kind of nerd fans. I'd explain to you the show notes now. So if you're on the podcast app on your iPhone, iPad, or iDevice, you tap our album art for this episode, you'll see the card turn around. It'll have some links. I'm going to include a link to a survey about our show. It'll leave some room for you guys to tell us what you like, what you don't like, and maybe give us some feedback about what you think we could do to make it better. We always appreciate any reviews that we can get on iTunes, so that way we can just see how you're doing. And listen, you can be honest. Right now we have 5-star reviews, but if you think we don't deserve 5 stars, don't give it to us. Give us what you think we need, and we'll damn sure take your feedback to heart, and we'll try to implement it. And then let's interact with some of these hashtags that we talked about for this week and see, what comes up, what recurs. We're going to tweak and we're going to augment our show to be what you guys want it to be. So feedback that you guys provide is absolutely critical, absolutely important. So I can't thank you enough for listening to our show. Gentlemen, thank you again for your time. And thanks for listening.
Whoa, spoilers. No, I have no intention of watching it. Go ahead.